Hello, this is Chill Computer Guy. We're here in Bitwig Studio. It's Bitwig Studio night. For the first time, I actually got a little time in here to spend some time with this program. It's Bitwig Studio 1.3.4. I've owned it for a couple of months here, but I really haven't had the time to really sit down and try to make a structured piece in here. And so got a couple hours of free time today, and I really worked on trying to complete a track in here. And so I'm going to kind of take you through some of the stuff here. As far as workflow issues, the workflow is incredible on this. When I first started, I was a little confused. Like, these icons down here screwed me up. I was like, where's my track view? Where's this? Where's that? But once I learned, it's, if it's orange, you'll see it. This is the clip launcher. This is the arrangement. Real quick, here's the in and out. Here's the skinny clip, wide clip. Here's your sends. I don't have any sends, but if I had a send, let's say an effect track, there it's gone. So you can have all your sends on dials. Here's your hidden tracks. Here's my little B-side vocal action going on there. So yeah, it's pretty intuitive. It's but again, you have to get in here and really work it. If you're from a different DAW, there's a few little quirks in here, but this is the arrange, the edit. The edit view is just insane. I mean, there's everything, and you can get right on in here. You can get right on in here and work. You can go up here. You can cut up your audio. You can move stuff around. You can just go crazy in this program. It's really quite powerful. Control Z, all that. There's the edit view, so that's pretty powerful. Mixer view has these big giant mixers here. They're a little obnoxious, but they're kind of cool, I guess. And I like the fact that from the mixer view you can just double click and instantly see that stuff down here. Just have instant access to it. That's really cool. Really like that, There's your spire. And there's your chain. This is a chain I built. It's what I recommend for every track. It's a tool, and then you can push that into the compressor. There's the dynamics. This is just for side chaining. Normally you don't have these both on. They're both on. I'm going to leave them. Then your EQ5. This is pretty much, should be your default for every channel. You can really push your audio through there, and it comes out the other end sounding pretty live, pretty damn live. Back to the arrange page. All right, let's have a listen. It sounds like shit in these headphones. Got the decapitator right here. Adding a little fuzz there. Got my synth master right here. Tool EQ5. Another decapitator right there. I got my synth master, my decapitator. It's really easy to get around in. I really like how you can see everything all on one page. I mean, the edit with this is good stuff. I made the beginnings of another track earlier, and I used just default devices. And what I can tell you is when I first got into the Bitwig studio, I'm a Reason user, so that's a pretty strong sound engine. You get some really good sound out of that program. So everything kind of, I was a little worried about if I'm going to be able to get quality sound out of the Bitwig studio, but I can tell you just by using default. I know I use the 3 VSTs in this track, but like I said, I did a track earlier specifically to test for the, test kind of the sound engine. I put some choruses in there, some reverbs, and I really pushed it. I put the EQ in a way where every little track had its little space in the frequency spectrum, and then I pushed it with some tools right into the compressor. So I caught some color, a little bit of color in there, and I really tried to push the track. And I honestly got to say, just using the default devices, that I did that. I got a really big sound out of Bitwig Studio. So, and a very low CPU. And so the sound engine is, at first I was a little scared, but I can honestly say the sound engine is pretty solid in this program. You can get some really good pumping sounds out of there, especially when you start to, layer the instrument layer, and when you start to. Another thing is take your effects, start to put together chains, effects racks, kind of customize it. At first stuff's all scrambled all over the place. This chain right here, this is my chain right here. You open it, and you got these 4 devices. You got your tool, your delay, your chorus, your reverb, your dynamic, and your EQ. So this is basically my vocal chain right here. It's very handy to have. This chain here is a good one too. It's a tool, and then that pushes into the compressor, or you can push input gain right here. But and then the dynamics, I don't even use it. I only use this for side chaining. So the effects chain is basically a tool, a compressor, and an EQ with a dynamics in there for side chaining. That's another really just something I put together in 2 seconds, but it's something you're constantly going to use. And you can also make the EQs, EQ for the kick drum and EQ for the snare, EQ for the hi-hat. EQ your instruments out. Get like a general EQ. You don't need it, because obviously every drum is different, every instrument is different, but get a general EQ for that instrument, and then that way you have your chain, like a snare drum. You might want a reverb in there on that snare drum, so you make a separate chain for the snare drum. But that way you're going here to your browser, you're just plopping that chain right in there, and it's just it's really easy to get kind of a good setup. And just the workflow I honestly can say is pretty incredible. Once you learn it, it's a little intense at first, but you got to learn it. You got to learn this program. You got to take the time to. When I first came over here, I was like, where's this, where's that? I got frustrated and all confused, and I didn't like it at first, and then I had the concerns about the sound engine, and now that everything's solid, I really like the program. You can have all your audio or MIDI tracks there. You have your layers. You can see multiple layers. I mean, it's beautiful. You have your automation. You can have a shitload of automation in this giant window. You got your instruments down here, and you got your mix. So you can literally, push this mixer up. I wish you could push that up. Yeah, you can't push that mixer up? Oh, that's bullshit, man. They should make you see you push that mixer up. There's got to be a way to push that up. You can't push your instruments. That makes sense. You only get that. Although I'd like to see in the future maybe 2 rows of instruments, You could really get some complex chains. But yeah, your MIDI window, you can push that one up. Why can't you push your mixer up? Yeah, you should be able to push your mixer up there, man. But anyway, yeah, you can sit down here and do your mix, So what do I think? I think it's genius. I think that the program is just a beautiful piece. I mean, the ability to just have on the screen what you need, to pull stuff out of your arrangement and quickly audition it, swap it out, swap it back in, have variations, put this bass pad over here, now put some variations on it, put it back in the arranger. I mean, it's really, really well done. It has a strong sound engine. The sound engine's solid. A really good sound comes out of here. It's for for a new piece of software. It's 1.34. I mean, it's just amazing. It will become the new DAW. It's just these guys are light years ahead of everybody else. Don't open Bitwig for 15 minutes and say like, oh, you need to really get in here for a couple of hours, dig around, figure out its little quirks. It does have some quirks. The thing I hate the most in Bitwig is when you hit this plus sign, this browser. I can't stand it. I did a tutorial about it. I just can't stand it. It's just every time you open it, it's in a different tab. It doesn't have a default. I don't know. I don't like the browser. Sorry, Bitwig. I hate the fucking new browser. I actually miss the old one. Click the plus and it was just a small little window, and it just has all your necessities there. It doesn't have. I just wish I could organize this better. It's just like I open it. Look at the presets. I hit presets. These folders are they're already open. It's just, I mean, this is just too much information. This little browser over here, it's a little better, although I just wish that I could customize. I want the categories. Where's the categories at? Shit. Anyway. Alright, so there's browser issues, I mean. I love the program. The program's incredible. If you want to get into music creating, music making, the DAW right now, this is the one to get. It's a fraction of the cost of Ableton, and you're going to be starting with a much better platform. I mean, I can't even imagine what version 2 of this is going to look like or anything else. I mean, it's incredible. It's an incredible program. It feels like a modern piece of software. I don't like these big fat mix channels, these big fat meters, big fat mix channels and big fat meters. I'm not really a big fan of the big fat meters and the big fat mix channels, but they work. They work. Just make a more minimalistic look, more like Ableton with smaller meters. Those big wide meters are kind of nuts. But I don't know. Maybe people like that. I don't know. It's a little aesthetic thing, I guess. All right, this is Chill Computer Guy. I gotta go. Goodbye.